Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our first recording with myself, Liliana Bogo, and Michael Adila. Michael Adila is a personal financial strategist. He is a leader of a very phenomenal group called Prism Check, where they take your personal finances through a check and allow you to create personal financial freedom. Now, everyone, join me and welcome Michael Adila.
Thank you very much, Lillian. It's my pleasure to be on this call.
You're very welcome. Michael, I have loads and loads of questions to go over, but what we'll do for today, we'll just break it down. Today we're going to look at the credit system and the way that, it is really not helping those in a certain situation get out of it because it's creating a cycle of debt. So we're looking at debt and how to escape it. And what we're going to focus on for the next 10 minutes is focus on the payday loans. How effective is the system, and how helpful is it?
Well, let me start with this. A few days ago, I got this text in my phone, and it was great marketing tactics just to get me to say yes to the offer they're giving me. And I think I've actually deleted it from my phone. What they were actually saying, okay, I've got it right here. It says that 100% instant approval on all payday loans this week. Right. No credit checks, cash in 1 hour, and they put their website there. So now this is an invitation for me to go online and within an hour have up to £750 in my bank account without any credit check, without any consideration on the part of the lender as to what I want to use the money for, as to how I'm going to be able to pay back this loan. Now, that, to start with, is what I call irresponsible lending. And it's just very sad that in this time and age, and with what is going on right now with the global economy, our government is still allowing this kind of it's a mad campaign to be going on. And, I won't go into how the system is set up to take advantage of people. I'm not going to go into that today. But what I just want to say is that it is the responsibility of the individual to protect the personal finance. It is the responsibility of the individual to become financially intelligent, to know what assets are, to know what liabilities are. It is absolutely important, and it is down to the individual to make sure that they have the right financial intelligence around these various divisions of the personal finance.
Okay. So that actually was my next question, saying, don't you think it's a personal, the person's personal responsibility that we're all adults and we can make that personal choice? But then looking at the situation that we're in financially, it's obvious that we have been making very poor choices. So what do we need to correct this? How do we now, it's like anything. With our personal finance, it's almost like our body. And if you leave your body to go lapse, you gain weight, you become unhealthy. What do we do that's exercising that our personal finances? So actually, because we're never taught this in school, how do we become, personally in charge of our own finances?
Okay. Thank you very much for that question, Lillian. There is a package that we have in Prism Check, which we call FIT. To call it short, we call it FIT, which means Financial Intelligence Training. There is one magazine that we promote. We say that your money is as intelligent as you are. So your money is as fit as you are. And that is your, responsibility to make sure that you are financially intelligent, and that is the only way your financial life will be fit. Just like the example you used about the body. If you work out your body very well, you eat the right stuff, you exercise well, you're going to enjoy good health. The same thing with your money. If you exercise your money well with the intelligence or with financial intelligence, then you will have a good financial healthy life. It's as simple as that. And just the same way you have programs that can be drawn up for yourself when it comes to your health or when it comes to your body, the same way we design programs in Prism Check to be able to help people bring or restore health to their personal finance. And, we have about 9 different divisions that we look into, and we fully examine all these 9 divisions to make sure that your financial life is healthy. And that's what we do. More on that to come, though.
Okay. Now, going back to these payday loans, I mean, there are so many of them on TV. You know, there's the one where the guy looks like he's having a split personality and having a conversation with himself where he's talking about he's his own bank manager and he can get this loan and, 70 pounds will get, and he has to pay back, I think, 80 pounds. The money is in an hour in his bank account. How effective are these? I mean, I've heard of horrible horror stories, but, as a personal financial strategist, what is really your take on this?
Okay, the first thing I want to make people understand is what debt is all about. It's very important for us to understand the nature of debt. And debt today in our present economy is the underlining or the foundation upon which the global economy is based. So put it this way, let me put it in simple terms. You can't get away from debt. Someone has to carry the debt. That is the way the global economy has been designed. Now, it is the responsibility of the individual to decide whether they want to be the carrier of debt or whether they want all the people to be indebted to them. Now, when it comes to debt, we also say that there is good debt and there is bad debt. Very simple. Good debt is one that you've taken on, but that is paying you or that is bringing cash flow into your personal finance or into your financial life.
Right.
A bad debt is a loan that you've taken and you've consumed. In other words, that loan that you've taken, that debt you've carried, it's not bringing in any income to you. It's not causing any cash to flow into your life. Instead, it's probably causing cash to flow out. So it is the responsibility of the individual to ask the question, is this a good debt or a bad debt? If it's a debt that maybe you want to invest the money and you found a business or an idea or a system that can help you leverage the capital more, then you can take on the loan or that debt at a lower interest rate, leverage the capital for higher returns, and then you can pay back the debt. Now, that is good debt. With a bad debt, if you're taking out the money or taking out a loan or using money on your credit card to buy clothes, to eat, or to pay for rent, or to pay another creditor, then that is a bad debt.
Right.
Because that is what puts you in the cycle that you never get out of, and that's what they call the rat race. So you rock into pay Paul, and you just keep going and going and going.
Okay. I mean, I know we've spoken about this, and there's this horror story you told me, and to me, this is a horror story. It's basically somebody that he gets his paycheck and he hands it back to one of these companies.
Yeah. I mean, when I heard that myself, I got really, really angry in my heart because it's so sad that in the kind of civilized society we are living in today, people are still taken for granted. Literally, people are being pulled back into slavery. Because how would you explain the person who's gone out 9 to 5 on a daily basis, Monday to Friday, and then at the end of the month collects the paycheck and takes it voluntarily to a payday loan office and say, you know what, here is my pay, and they collect that from him and give him a little change because the guy is already indebted to them. And there is this word that says that a borrower is a servant to the lender. Now, in this day and age, there is no need to put chains around the legs of the slave any longer. No need to do that. All the lender has to do, all the master has to do, is just to tie the chain, the invisible chain of debt, around the neck and around the legs of the borrower, who is the slave, and will always keep them coming back. And that is what we have today, in our present economy and in our society.
So what is the way out? Because I understand what you're saying that, okay, let's look at it this way. These payday loans, they can say, well, they're providing a service. People are not there's more months than there's many. There's some people who've had a very tough time. So what is the alternative?
Okay. Now, this is the first thing that we do when people come to Prison Check. The first protocol is what we call the financial health check. What we do is we look into 9 key divisions of any person's personal finance life or portfolio, as we call it. Now, one of these divisions is your expenditure. Okay. Now, when I conduct this consultation with clients, and they come to me and say, oh, you know what, this is my present situation, I'm earning X amount of money, but my expenditure is X plus Y. And what we first of all do is we go through these mental exercise to make the person see the need, or rather the consequences of such a practice if they keep at it. The truth is this: every one of us can choose to live cheaper than we're living right now.
Okay.
But when there is no vision, when there is no objective to work towards, i.e. a goal to become financially independent, it's very easy to cast off restraint. It's very easy to become indisciplined. It's very easy to take on that next credit card that comes along and then be tied to the payment on a monthly basis for as long as the person is working in life. It's very easy to do that in a society. So the way out is this: you need to cut back on your expenses. You need to have a look at how much is going out of your life, and you just have to stamp your feet on the ground and say, you know what, enough is enough. I am not going to live above my means. Now, that is the first step. The next step is to go, you know what, I can earn more. I can bring more in. And that will now lead them onto the path of personal development, a path where they can enhance their skill, a path where they can do more, add more value, so that they will be able to be rewarded at a higher level. And we take our clients through this process.
I'm so sorry for cutting you in there, because I just wanted to bring it back very quickly. Because we're running out of time, I just want to talk about going back to the payday loans. What should be our solution? What solution can we initiate when we see these adverts? Aside from ignoring them, what is, our thought is, I don't have enough. If that is a thought, a person saying, well, I need more. What can they do in the meantime immediately to bring in money? What can they use as a cash machine to drive money into their home?
Okay. The first thing I'll say is we have to be our brother's keeper. Now, we have a social campaign right now going on Facebook, which we call the Money Educators Network. It is my responsibility to advise my friends and my neighbors that, you know what, we have to be smart with our money. Okay. Right, that is the first thing. We need to watch out for ourselves. We need to become disciplined personally, and then also be accountable to others and help others to be accountable to us as well. I think this is the way we can do it in our society today. We need to come together and fight these forces, because if you want to do it alone, yeah, maybe you can, you can get on with it, you can be successful at it. But if we want to rid a society of these menace, we need to work together. We need to be each other's, keeper, and we need to watch out for each other.
Right. Okay, you know what? On that note, we are going to come back to this topic, and we're going to keep digging into this and find a solution. We're going to find a way of changing the mindset, because I believe that this is not just a financial problem. It's actually a mindset problem, because there's so many different things that we have on the ground to look at, because one of the things that, and I'm personally passionate about, I despise the commercials that they have on cash for gold. And I'm thinking, people, if these people are demanding your old gold for cash, can you truly imagine that you're not being paid what your gold is worth? And have you stopped to ask yourself, why do they want my gold? But that's for another time, for another day. Michael, you're going to join me again next week while we talk about that. But for this one, we're going to still break down and decide and look at how to break this mindset. So I want to thank you for spending this time with me today, and for us to do it again next week.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Lillian.
Okay, thank you so much for being on the call.
My pleasure.